Hi everyone. Hello, it's Nicole Hanselman here. Today we are talking about life coaching, and I've got Alice Njabi with us. We'll be talking to her, and she'll tell us a lot about life coaching. It's a little bit mysterious to some people. Some people are still wondering, what's this all life coaching? What is this new hype? Is it the new modern way, modern day hype or whatever? So today we'll find out. And meanwhile, but she's preparing, she's ready actually. I'll go on my phone and I'm going to tag some of my friends so that they don't miss out. We usually do that. So we are streaming on Success Your Way Movement Group, we are on Life Lessons page, and we're on YouTube too. So welcome everybody. And there we go. I'll go on to the Facebook and see what I can do to tag some friends. So, welcome. If you're joining us, tell us your name, say hello to us. It's always nice to have you here and engaging with you. Makes it merrier. So, okay. I'll just tag the people that come up first. Mm, okay. And then who else? Alice already is on here anyway, but she's gonna get tagged. Yeah. So we're going to talk about life coaching. We have a rough idea what it is and stuff, but let's find out whether we can learn something new. I always say we don't know what we don't know, and there's room for learning something new every day. Cool. I think that will be enough tagging for now. So yeah, if you're joining us, say hello and where you're joining from. This is Nicole Hanselman. I've got Alice Jabi, the conscious coach. We've had her severally here. We love having her. So exciting. Let's find out what she has in store for us. Yeah, Alice, I hope you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. So drum roll. Hi, Alice.
Hi.
Hi, nice having you, my darling.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always nice having you. I love that positive energy that comes from you. So it could help me today. I've been having tough 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks already. And I need that positive energy right now. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You've been up to anything exciting again with your workshop and stuff?
Yes, in fact, there's another one coming up on Saturday. I'm excited to
There
be there.
is another one coming up on Saturday.
Yes, there is.
Nice. You'll tell us more about it. So I'll let you introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do for those who are just meeting you for the first time.
Okay. Uh, my name is Alice Jambi. I am I'm a coach. I'm a life coach and an emotional intelligence coach, and I help people manage, figure out what is going on with them and what they can do to get to a better place. So I help people work on their mindset and on their emotions and leverage on them to
Hmm.
create impact and influence. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So I think we'll be borrowing some of your brains a lot today.
You're
We
welcome. You too.
had oh, I love that cup. It's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice. So today we're talking about life coaching and everything. Can you just tell us anything you know about maybe the history of life coaching? What is life coaching? How you understand life coaching? And how maybe you help people understand what life coaching is?
Mm, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Because you had frozen for like 2 seconds.
Oh,
So
yeah,
from
that's all right. It could be a network issue, so we'll just try and ignore it today. We'll just get on with it. And then if you just talk a little bit louder, I am loud, so just a
okay.
little bit louder.
Is that loud enough?
Yeah, you are now loud enough. That would be better.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, from my own understanding and training I have had, life coaching has been there for a while. It's only that it didn't have that. label of life coaching, and it
Mm,
borrows a lot from sports coaching. And
mm,
like, just to have an example of what sports coaching is, imagine
mm,
you're a runner. I'm one of the best runners that there are. You know,
mm,
someone like Usain Bolt. They have a
mm,
coach. So
mm,
the guy is really good. It's not like he doesn't have the potential.
mm,
It's not like he doesn't know how to run.
mm.
But what he does is he enlists the services of a coach to
Yeah.
help him do better, to
Mm,
help him see where the gaps are, and
mm-hmm.
to also motivate him and cheer him on.
Mm,
And so, when it comes to life coaching, it's actually just the same premise as the one for sports coaching. When
yeah.
you're enrolling to have a life coach, the
Mm,
life coach comes in to support you, to
mm.
encourage you, and to challenge you, of course. Because if you have support and encouragement and there's no challenge, you're still in your status quo, then yeah, there's nothing much that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I also, as I was doing my course as well, that's also was a part of the introduction to it. Just explain that it's been around. It's been around. People have been using it a lot in sports until somebody decided, you know what? Why can't we use the same concept and bring it to life? Start with students, help students see the gaps where
Yeah,
they're going wrong and stuff.
yeah,
And it's transformed a lot of people's life, I might say.
yeah,
Especially my own life, I can see how my life has transformed since I embraced the whole life coaching thing. There's a time I used to hear people read about these personal development books and do life coaching, and I'm thinking, yeah, why would somebody do that? If you have it, if you have it. If you don't, you don't. You know, if you're
yeah,
motivated, you're motivated. If you're not, you're not. You know, I couldn't understand this whole thing.
mm,
But yeah, for personally, it's really transformed me. Hi, JC. Hi, everybody. We've got Alice Jabi. Today, we're talking about life coaching and I'm trying to understand about life coaching. If you have any questions, do ask. Do ask. Is it something you've done yourself? Do you understand it? How do you define it? So anybody who's joining, do say hello to us and tell us where you're joining from. It's always nice having you. So, what are some of the benefits you've experienced yourself with life coaching?
the benefits that I've experienced for myself, the first one and the main one for me was self-awareness, and self-awareness coming
Mm,
from so many angles. You know, it's amazing how we are always thinking,
mm,
and feeling, but we rarely get to ask ourselves why we think the way that we do. Yeah, we know that we
absolutely.
think, yeah, but
Mm,
we rarely ask ourselves why we think the way that we think. We
mm,
rarely ask ourselves why we do the things that we do. We
no.
rarely ask ourselves what our needs are, what our
Mm,
beliefs are, what our values,
mm.
what are our motivations, what our deal breakers, and all that. So
Yeah.
for me, the biggest benefit that I got was just having a deeper understanding of myself and
Mm,
what I'm about, where I'm coming from, where I'm at, and where I'm headed as well.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. For me, I know it got me from just sitting around and, like my life. I thought my life was okay, go to work, I've earned enough, I can afford this, I can do that. Yeah, good, go on
Yeah.
with life. But then in fact, I think for me, my realization was when I met an old schoolmate and she was reading those books and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm capable of a lot more than just, the ordinary, just
Mm,
going to work and coming home. I'm capable of all that. Why am I putting off a lot of things in my life? And I said, okay, let me get into this whole thing. I used to read, yes, but now I like totally embrace it too, to transform my life, totally embrace it. And
mm,
it's amazing journey for myself. I've networked a lot more, met amazing people. I've seen myself doing things that I've always put off. Okay, I'll do it next year. I'll do it next year, and you don't come around to do it. So personally, yeah, and then like you're saying, a deep understanding of oneself. I came to understand, why am I making these choices? Why am I doing this thing? Is it because of my beliefs? What are my thoughts? What am I thinking? How are they influencing my action? Because your thoughts are really important. Once you've decided to yourself, okay, I'm contented, I go to work, I've earned this, I'm fine. So the rest of the time, it will be Netflix, isn't it? because you don't
Yeah.
think there's anything else you need to do. Is there more to life? Is there more things that I want to do with myself? So yeah, I really appreciate that you saying that. It's absolutely amazing. Do you have any experiences with your own clients? Some of the benefits you've noticed, observed?
And some of the benefits is what you just mentioned, and
Mm.
that is what that's the gap that has given personal development a very bad rap. Huh? When
Mm.
you've talked
Yeah.
about, reading, I don't know, listening to audios and watching videos. I mean, the content is already out there. There's so much, huh? But there's always that missing gap, that missing thing that needs to be filled, and that's action. Because you
Mm.
can have all the knowledge, but if you don't apply that knowledge, then I mean, we say knowledge
Absolutely.
is power, but it's not
Yeah.
knowledge that is power. The application of that knowledge
Mm.
that is power.
Mm.
So one of the benefits that I've seen from my own clients is seeing them, being self-aware in terms of what they want to achieve, and
Mm.
then taking action, taking steps to attain those goals. And it
Mm.
would be the goals are different depending on the person.
Mm.
They're they may look like big goals or small goals, but it's amazing to see someone, I call it transformation. Someone
Yeah.
unlearning, learning
Mm.
new things, relearning what they love, and just
Mm-hmm.
transforming in front of your very own eyes. It's just, I think it's the purest thing that it's amazing.
Yeah.
That way, yeah.
And then somebody having those aha moment, feeling like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Very happy.
Yeah. You can tell that, okay, I really like that when it comes to coaching. So,
Yeah.
like you're talking, you mentioned a little bit about people misunderstanding this whole coaching thing, personal development and stuff. What would you explain about it? What is life coaching not? You know, what is
Mm.
it not? Because people think, okay, somebody's going to tell you how you're living a lousy life, or somebody's going, well, what is it not?
Okay. Life coaching might be similar to some things that we are very familiar with, like
Mm,
maybe mentoring or counseling, but
mm,
it is not.
mm,
Number one, coaching is not counseling, because when you look at counseling, counseling looks at probably what is broken and what needs to be fixed. It
mm,
looks at the past. This is what happened, and this these are the things that you need to do to fix the past. So
yeah.
coaching is not counseling, because coaching looks at the present. So where are you at,
Mm,
and where do you want to head, and what is required of you to get to where you're supposed to be. And sometimes you might need to have the services of a life coach and a
mm,
counselor as well, especially if you're dealing with deep-seated issues, or
mm,
I don't know, clinical depression,
mm.
or there are things that a life coach might not help you with because you actually need counseling.
Yeah.
So coaching is not counseling. Then the other common one that people mistake life coaching for is
Mm,
mentoring.
yeah.
Life coaching and mentoring are not the same thing.
No.
Mentoring is when you see someone who probably has attained something, either skills, knowledge, or an awareness that
Mm,
of something that you want to have for yourself, and
mm,
then you emulate them. You can
mm,
either enroll them like on a physical, you have a mentor
mm.
who you guys know each other, and they're helping you build yourself in
Yeah.
terms of a particular area. Or
Mm,
you can even have, I mean, in this era of the globe and the internet, you can even have a virtual mentor who is not even aware that
mm.
you're, because
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
had a lot of those. If I sit and think, okay, this is what I want to build, like say if it's fitness, I have people who I follow on Facebook, on Instagram, and they have
Mm,
no idea. And I look at what they're doing,
mm.
and I get encouraged. And yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have no idea that I am, most of the time I'm actually a silent follower. But they have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
For me, I have adapted them as my mentors. That
Yeah.
is, yeah, that is not the same as coaching.
Yeah.
Another thing that I should emphasize is coaching is not giving advice, because
Oh,
the way I look at
absolutely.
the way I look at it is, if you come to me and I'm giving you advice, then sijakusaidia, I haven't helped you much because they're my answers, not yours. So if they're my answers, then they could as well be your father's answers, your mother's answers, your
Mm,
partner's answers,
mm,
your pastor's answers. There's
mm.
always other people answers, but not yours.
Yeah.
So coaching is not giving advice
That is one
because
of the greatest misconception of it.
yeah,
People thinking
yeah,
that, oh, you're going to somebody, and some people
yeah,
feel let down that, oh, I've gone to a coach and they're not telling me, they're not
mhm,
advising me on what to do.
yeah,
No, he's
yeah,
not going to advise. He's supposed to. A good life coach is supposed to help you find the answers within yourself,
exactly,
just make it
exactly,
a lot
exactly.
clearer for you, make you understand and be aware of your
Yeah,
situation now, where you are now, where you want to go, and close that gap for you. I really like what everything you're saying, because that's exactly how I understand it. It's not
yeah,
counseling, it's not mentorship. In fact, mentor, you have somebody who's probably done it already, a person
yeah,
who is where you'd like to go, and you admire them.
exactly,
Like you
exactly.
become a silent follower, just following what
Mm-hmm,
they're doing and
mm-hmm,
step by step. That would be it. But a life coach is it. And then the other thing about mental health, people think that, okay, if you're a life coach, maybe then you can help them with their mental health situations and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I don't know what you think about that.
Mm, mm. What There are some ways you might be able to help, because in some situations it could be, probably it's an issue with someone is having a challenge with either their beliefs, or
Mm,
it's a mindset thing,
mm,
or that's when someone gets that, that aha moment that you were talking about earlier, like, so this is what was going on, and it's
mm.
easier for someone to just connect and transform from that. But
Yeah,
also there's also a point where maybe whatever you're dealing with is deeper is deeper than that. And if it's deeper than that, then we usually encourage either someone to either see a psychiatrist or a counselor or a psychologist, whatever your needs are. And I keep on saying, I look forward to the day that, we're going to be celebrating people when you have a friend and they tell you they're going for therapy, and you encourage them and
mm,
you support them, instead of what we currently have, that when people, in fact, people look at life coaching as more acceptable than seeing a therapist, because we have this conditioning of, if you're seeing a
yeah,
therapist, if you're seeing a psychiatrist, if you're seeing a
yeah,
psychologist, then kuna kitu mbaya na wewe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
eh,
fact, yeah, that is really true. What Panga, your story, all
yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what? I like the way you're putting it, because when you go to a life coach, sometimes if you're, it depends on your problem. There's some mental health problems like depression that are caused by. If it was money that caused it, you're stressed about money, rent, yeah, how you're going to pay your rent. It's not necessarily that you have depression. Maybe if your financial situation changes, then that
mm,
depression will go away. So a life
yeah,
coach will be able to spot that, okay, can I handle this? Is this a mental health thing that needs a practitioner, or is something I can handle? Yeah,
mm,
yeah, I do totally agree with you. Just for saying what, so true. It brings about self-awareness and understanding. Absolutely, absolutely. Just, would have you used a life coach before? Would you? What's your feeling about it and your understanding about it? I would like everybody to at least help us in the understanding, because there's a lot of understanding of it, misconception of the whole thing, lots of myths too. Some of the things that you have to know about their private life, you have to get into that. You have to understand that there are different types of coaching depending on what one's need, what one is after. So, okay. Uh, how did your journey begin, my darling? How did your life
oh,
coaching journey begin?
my
Yeah, I think you've
journey
shared a little bit of
began.
your story in a way before, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And
I don't
my
mind
journey,
hearing it.
my journey began in the midst of darkness. Let me say, at that point, I had no idea what was going on, and I was going through my own what is it called, dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And at that point, I kept on thinking, my God, I can't go through this. my world is caving in, and I can't go through this, And I remember at one point it was really, 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 really bad. And I was wondering whether I'd get out of it alive or even sane. Because I was thinking, my God, I'm losing my head. I'm going to go
Mm,
insane. And I remember at that point, I had no idea what was going on. But
mm,
I remember at that point, I made a promise to God, and I said, God, I promise you, if I get out of this alive, because I wasn't sure that I was going to get out of it alive. If I get out of this alive and I get out of it, with my sanity intact, then
mm.
I promise I will go back and I will hold someone else's hand. Because at
Ah,
that point, when I was feeling like, when I was feeling like I was in hell, and everything was just caving in, all I wanted was someone to sit with me, someone to just hold my hand. And I didn't want someone to come and tell me, when umejileta hizi vitu, like I didn't want
yeah.
any judgment, I didn't want any criticism. I just needed
Just
support and
pure love, unconditional, just to
exactly,
embrace you.
exactly, and encouragement and support, and someone to just help me figure things out by just allowing me to
Process
sit
it.
and hear my, yeah, exactly, that's the word, allow me to process what was going on and at my own pace.
Yeah.
So I remember at that point I
Because some
kept on,
people go like, hiyo kitu ilifanyika kitambo, get over it.
yeah,
No,
exactly,
I've not
exactly.
even accepted it yet to understand what is going on. How do you want me to get over it? Hiyo
Yeah,
kazi yako ulipoteza kitambo, kwanza last year COVID ianze.
but
Give
that's
me
what we usually
time.
do. That's what we usually do, or even worse, we minimize. Ati hiyo tu, hiyo ni
Hiyo
kidogo.
tu,
Ngoja
and then
shida
there's hiyo
yangu.
tu. Mimi yangu ilikuwa mbaya.
Exactly. So ni nini unalilia? Hii kidogo hivi. Ai, hapana.
I
So
know. Oh, bless. Oh my
yeah. So
God.
for me at that point, I that is how it came into my life. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I I will help someone else, go
Yeah.
through that season of
So
darkness
during
and
your tough time, you met your life purpose too. So your life purpose is
exactly.
to help
Oh my
somebody
God,
else. Oh
you
my
can say
goodness.
it again.
You got your calling at the same time. Amazing.
And
I can't say I bumped into life coaching that way because I've been through so much. There's a time I used to go through a lot of like really dark places, and I'm just there's. I remember one day having dark places as in like mental health wise, where you just like one step from depression. And one time I remember just having a conversation with God and going like, you know what, I am really done. I told him, you know what, I'm done with you. I'm done with being strong. I'm done with everything. With all these things you're doing, I am
mm,
done. I'm not telling everybody to speak to their God like that, but I was fed up. I was fed up. And when you reach that point, it's usually a really bad point because that's the point where sometimes you reach a point where you don't care anymore. You don't care whether you're
yeah,
alive.
yeah,
You've lost that meaning. You don't want. So I was at that point where I just told God, you know, I'm really done with you. I'm
mm,
done. I'm done being strong. I'm done being the one to do this. I'm done. I'm done.
yeah,
Because I was that believer of, oh, you go through those things to make you stronger or what. I was like, what else is left of me? All my life I've been strong and strong and strong and strong and strong until I
mm,
feel like I'm a stone. So what else is left? What else are you
yeah,
planning to throw at me? I was like,
mm,
you know what, I'm done. So I went
mm,
through all that. I came out and got my life got to a really good place, and I'd been good, but it felt like it stagnated. You know, now there's nothing happening. It's just
yeah,
there. I'm not going through all those. It used to be like up
mm,
one bit and all the way that you like the cryptograph,
mm,
something of that sort. And then plateaued. And okay, the excitement is not there. There's nothing to complain about. It's just there. You're just good. You're just okay. But then I thought, I want better. I deserve better. This
yeah,
can't just be life where you're just working home.
mm,
There's more. There's
mm,
more. And yeah, and that's when I just, for me, apart from like having those people I admire and having mentors and stuff, for me, I took the journey and decided, you know what? I'm going to study about life coaching. I'm going to learn everything. I'm going to read every book that is out there. And I've not stopped reading ever since. I've not
Wow.
stopped reading. And I just enjoy sharing. I just sometimes I think to myself that some people who don't have these resources. I have those resources. They're not that expensive for me, you know? So why
Mhm.
not just share it? So I don't mind whether I've bought that expensive book for me to just learn something new and share it. And that's why I'm always, always trying to share. Yeah, thank you, Alice. I'm hungry. You're hungry for what? Who is this? What are you planning to eat? The topic, people, and who is that anyway? I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it later. So, what's your advice on coaching? What would you tell somebody who is skeptic? Maybe what would you tell somebody about life coaching? If you met somebody like who was like maybe me years ago, I think if you're motivated or you're not. You don't need somebody to tell you all these things. No. What would you tell somebody who is about skeptical about life coaching?
I think before we even get into that, there's something that you said that is so important, and
Mm.
it's actually the main premise of life coaching. You
Yeah.
cannot you cannot work with a person who is not ready. You cannot work with a person who hasn't gotten to that point where, like you're saying, you got to a point where you said, "Yeah, nimechoka," as in I want something different. Because the most of the time, the reason why we get to a point, we start something, we get to it, we get halfway or quarter way, then we stop, we pick up a new thing. It's
Mm.
because we are not yet ready to commit to the change.
Mm.
And change is it's so much easier to remain in your comfort zone. It's so much easier to be comfortable, and sometimes we are comfortable even in the pain.
Even in
As
the
to how,
pain,
yes, you're
whatever
gonna see
pain,
people who are
abuse, poverty, whatever it is, if you
exactly.
decide to be comfortable in it, umedecide
Hmm.
ati utaki kutembea all that way kwenda hiyo kazi kutafuta hiyo
Yeah,
kazi, afadhali
exactly,
kukaa hapa hivi kwa hii njaa, you
exactly.
will.
Exactly. And most of the time, we are actually very unconscious of it. Vile unasema, someone will be complaining that they don't have a job. When you apply a job, hataki. Because,
Hataki hiyo.
exactly, application means getting out of the comfort zone. It means they'll have either to do research, they'll have to step up, they'll have to do something different.
You have to do
And
something different.
exactly. And maybe at that point, they are not ready. And in fact, most of the skeptics are usually coming from that point. I work, sinilienda 2 sessions, I work. The thing about,
Haikuwa.
yes, the thing about life coaching is the work is on you as a client.
Mm.
My role is to support you and encourage you and challenge you. But guess what? Kazi yote ni yako. And
Yako.
this can only work if you put in the work. So if you have a
Yeah.
person,
If you're lucky and somebody got somebody who is actually out to help, you'll find
mhm,
that you get to the root of why you do what you do. Because a lot of the things you've mentioned belief before, a lot of the things are beliefs, our thoughts,
yeah,
they govern
yeah,
everything. They'll govern our actions. Because our thoughts, you've not thought that you deserve to live a better life, that you
mhm,
need to have food on the table every day. You've
yeah,
not thought of it. So you've thought, when I deserve this poverty is
mhm,
where I'm supposed to be. So you won't think of any solutions. So hata huwezi fikiria badala niombe pesa ninunue chakula leo, hiyo pesa afadhali nilale njaa nikafotokopi hii CV,
yeah,
nipeleke hapo kazini wamenipromise.
mm,
You've not started thinking in a different way. We've been told that you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that caused the problem anyway.
mhm,
You have
mhm,
to come down into solving your mindset. Where
yeah,
is your mind at? What do you think you deserve? What do you think life is about? How do you stand alive? If you have a
mhm,
nice life coach as well, you're supposed to know that that could help you in finding small steps, baby steps to guide you towards something, things that
yeah,
won't demotivate you. Oh, nilijaribu nikashindwa. And then the
mhm,
answers are from you anyway. So you're bound to do them. You're
mhm,
bound to do them. You're bound to
mhm,
change your life. Absolutely. Um, oh, I am, and okay. I am totally confused as to what this is about. But do you mind elaborating? And I don't even know who this is. Say hello and tell us where you are joining us from and why you are hungry and angry too. So, yeah, go on about the whole thing when you're advising somebody about life coaching. Yeah.
So, life coaching comes from that premise first, that
Mm,
someone is ready to change. Someone is ready to embrace something different. Someone
mm,
is ready to come from mediocre to whatever it is that they
mm,
want. That has to
mm,
be first, the first, and in fact, the most important part. Because if they're not ready, then the whole thing is a waste of time for myself
mm,
and for the client as well.
mm,
So we usually start from that point, that
mm,
you're ready, and then we look at, okay, fine. I like using, personally, I like using the wheel of life,
mm,
because it gives, it's something that you can easily get on the net, and
mm,
it just gives you an overview of different areas of your life.
mm,
So
mhm,
we look at, and depending on the client, we look at probably whether it's money, career, family, relationships, spirituality, whatever it
mm,
is, whatever is
mm,
important for the client. We
mm,
look at, so if it's, let's say career, are you satisfied? Like 1 out of 10, what would you give? One
mm,
being least satisfied and 10
mm,
being the most satisfied. So we
mm,
look at all the important areas
mm,
of the client. And then once we've done the wheel of life, we look at, okay, so where are you least satisfied? Where is it that you're seeking the most growth?
mm,
So once we are able to zero in, okay, like let's say if it's career, I want
mm,
to grow my career. Then
mm,
now we decide we start with that as the main focus. So
mm,
then I like using the growth model, which
mm.
is, we start with goals. So if
It
it's
is
career,
one of the best ones to help
exactly,
anybody.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So if using the same career as an example, then we start is, so what are your goals? When you look at your career, where do you see yourself? And here is, removing all blocks on, if you're to have the ideal career, if you're to be at the ideal place, how would it be? Then the next thing is, reality. So if that is where you want to head, where are you at now?
yeah.
Then if that is where you're at now, then what can you be able to do?
Mm,
What can you be able to do to bridge the gap between reality and your goal? And then
mm,
what tactics, in what ways can you be able to do this? And then
yeah.
what habits will you need? Because every change comes with, something needs to give, and something else is reborn. So if it's old habits that are holding you back, then
Mm,
what new habits do you need to put in place
mm,
to get to that goal? And then my
yeah.
role now as a life coach is to hold you accountable. So
Mm,
every session, we have sessions that you're saying, okay, so this is the agenda for today's
mm,
session. So we go through the session, and after the session, there is an action plan that
mm,
must come from the client. It doesn't come from me.
mm, mm,
It's not me that's, okay, sasa endo fanya 1 2 3. No, it's based on this. What do you think?
mhm,
The next steps would be that you're going to take before we have the next meeting. So the client comes up and with their own steps of actions, and says, the client comes with their own steps of action and says, okay, so this is what you're going to do. And after that, the next meeting we have, Evo, Evo, Evo. We just keep on. I hold the client accountable, and we grow small steps until the person
yeah.
gets where they want to head.
Yeah, it's amazing because somebody will get to see for themselves that they're actually coming from somewhere. They'll know, they'll understand their reality at the time they
Mm,
started that
mm,
session, and they
mm,
can see the transformation in that short period of time. And that
mm,
in itself makes you want to do more. Any human being, when they look and they're thinking, oh, I'm actually progressing, I'm actually doing better, they will do more. They won't even need you in a short time. They're like, you know what? now I'm set to go, you know. So yeah, I do like that, and I totally agree. I totally agree. Life coaching at the moment, people are still thinking it's a big hype and stuff, expensive and stuff. But sometimes you have to weigh in the pain. What is the pain of being in a situation now and the pain of wanting to get into the next to change in your reality? You have to
Exactly.
weigh in. And when the pain is bad enough, if the pain of being poor and having to ask your friends for money every single time, if that pain exceeds, yes, you will think that it's worth it changing your situation, and you'll
Yeah.
have that will. You'll want to be rescued. You
Yeah.
can't rescue somebody who doesn't want to be rescued, or that is not
Exactly.
even putting an
Yeah.
effort into being rescued. You have to have that will and decide what you want to
Mm-hmm.
be rescued. A life coach will just help you know clearly what is important to you, what are your values. What do you like? Freedom more than you like maybe career or marriage? So maybe you just want to travel the world and do such things. Maybe you're not the kind of person who wants to be tied down in a relationship and have children, but you're doing it because society help wants expect you. So you're in that situation, you don't want to be in live in poverty, you can't even provide for your kids, you just tied there because society expects you. But all these answers become clear to you and you start being happy. Now you start realizing, you know what, this is really not for me, this is not really my thing. My thing is not wanting. I've never wanted to be CEO of a company. That responsibility is too much for me. I only did it because my parents wanted me to do it. Then you realize, you know what, this is not even bringing me happiness. I want to come out of this. You get all those answers that become clearer to you. Because you know what, sometimes you get into these situations because um, of the little inputs we've gone through throughout our lives. Your parents said this, your friends said that, your teachers say that, you know. So later on, you think you wanted to be a doctor, but you never did. You don't even care about patients. You don't even want to do it
Yeah.
because everybody said you are clever enough. Oh, you're so good at it. Oh, you have to be a doctor. Oh, you got an A, doctor material. And you just went with the flow. But now you come back and are like, no, I don't even like doing this. I hate seeing blood. I hate seeing these people being like this. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. So yeah, today we are just clearing the air about what life coaching is, understanding life coaching, so that you don't go like, okay, it's just that new hype and it will go away. I think it is the future. We've seen it working in sports. Now in sports, any good sportsman has to have a
Yeah.
coach. And the
Exactly.
best one hire the best coaches out there,
Yeah. Exactly.
and you can see in their performance, and you can
Mm.
see more of talent and the best coach and everything that any equipment and material can provide against the best coaches and best talent. It's just best over best competition right
Mm.
now. Right now you can't go there and just thinking, okay, mimi nakaka talent kangu niko tu sawa. It
It's
will
so
come from
true.
that. Yeah, you talked a little bit about this. I was going to ask you what you expect, one should expect in a coaching session and stuff. Because this is the other thing that we need to understand about coaching. It's different. There is no proven system that is said to work, because you have to have the answers for yourself. Your coach has to figure it out. Your coach has to help change the styles, adjust with you. When you build that rapport with your coach, they get to understand you. You can't make somebody who can't sit down and concentrate to sit down and start writing stuff for you. They won't do it. They don't understand it. It doesn't work for them. Some people prefer walking while you're talking to them. Some people prefer drawing, crafting, and stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's different for everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we got to understand that it's different. There's no system that
Mm.
has been put down as this is the best and only system that works for everybody.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
all different and special. So for
Yeah.
you, what would people expect for your, like, let me say, normal coaching session?
Okay, just to add on what you've said, I have personally the first coaching I did, I just my own personal, like I went to a coach.
Hmm.
It wasn't for me because it was very would I say strict? Like
Formal?
too formal. Like oh my goodness, yeah, formal. Formal is the word. Like we got into a room and they had a paper and a pen and it's like
Almost like
nilikuwa
counseling
na
kind of
report
thing.
card. Because nilikuwa na report card, I'm being marked for, and for me, it just felt, no, it
Yeah.
wasn't cool. And from based on that, I just picked, you know what, it's not my personality to
Mm,
be that way. So I just picked up what do I like as an individual. And what I
mm.
like is what I give because I'm most comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
You'll never,
You can
yeah,
only
you will
give what you
never
have.
exactly, exactly. And for me, I've been very blessed to get clients who we can be able to relate in that
To relate to your
aspect where,
style.
yeah, where they find my style of coaching their preferred style. And mine is very easygoing, very almost
Laid
like,
back.
yeah, very laid back. Actually, sometimes I think it's too laid back because
Yeah,
it's
you're that you're my kind of person because I've had people telling me that sometimes somebody was trying to tell me, oh, for people to take you seriously, you have to be like this kind of person, and I'm like, okay, I tried, but I'm not rigid. I can't do it.
yeah,
I can't be
yeah,
that rigid. I can't do
yeah,
it, and I've always been like that. I wasn't the kind of student in school that wanted that kind of formal learning where you sit for I don't know 45 minutes.
yeah,
By 10 to 15 minutes, I just blanked out. I'm
mm,
drawing my own things, I'm scribbling, I don't know. I never used to concentrate, but by luck, I would have still listened and got something in. But I can't just keep on listening to the teacher on and on and on. You've already shown me the formula. Yeah, got it. Can we do something else? Can we go out and play? So when people expect me to have that kind of really strict formal session,
mm,
uh,
yeah.
I'd rather
Same
just
for
be,
me. Yeah.
yeah,
Same for me.
yeah,
My sessions are very laid back. It's I liken it to, you know, having a conversation with an old friend. Very easy to open up to someone and very easy to have, you know, it's like imagine this friend that you haven't seen in a while and then you meet up and you just pick up the conversation from there. I like
mm,
my coaching being like that as
mm.
opposed to what you're saying, very formal. And I had the same sentiments that you're talking about because initially I was like, oh my god, I'm too laid back, you know. Then it hit me, but that is just me. That is
That
how I
is
am.
you. That's your superpower. That's what makes you unique. Just being you. In fact,
Exactly.
this trying to do the formal way every single time. You're not saying anything formal is wrong. Don't get us wrong. We're just saying
No,
it's not for
no.
everybody. It's not for everybody. We are all different, and that's what makes us special. That's our superpower, being
Yeah,
unique and
yeah.
different. Yeah,
Actually,
and when you're too formal, sometimes it just means that we're still conforming with all those things that society has taught us. So if somebody was trying to break through the status quo that is there, and you're like always you're trying to still keep them in line.
yeah, yeah.
I,
Actually,
I agree with you.
yeah.
I
Like
agree
you've
with you.
mentioned, there's nothing wrong with formal coaching. In fact,
Mm,
I have met because initially, before we even start the coaching process, it's always good to have a discovery session where you know the two
yeah,
of you either talk or meet up
yeah,
to see whether you're a good match. And
yeah.
I met clients who we were not a match because they wanted that structure, formal kind
And
of,
it's okay.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, by the way, I'm sorry, I can't give you that.
Yeah,
However, I actually know other life coaches who that is their mode and that is
yeah,
their, and I can refer you to this person.
yeah.
Instead of, yeah, me, I'm there laid back and then they're thinking, we are not working because, yeah, akuna, you know,
Hakuna your strictness, your nini, corporate kind
exactly,
of coaching and stuff.
exactly. So
I
maybe,
just you can't rescue someone who is never ready to be rescued. Point taken with lots of respect. I've been trying to do that more, especially for my siblings, but all in vain. I'll tell you what, I dig you, my darling, especially when it comes to family. I don't know. When it comes to family, that is a sensitive area. It's a really difficult one. And then sometimes you got used to mollycoddling your family, and now you're trying to create boundaries, you're trying to be strict with them, and they won't warm up with that. They don't. This is a battle almost everybody has. Almost everybody has. What do you think about that, Alice?
yeah, I agree. It's especially when it comes to family, and family can actually really drain you, because they see that, they see, okay, or they have that thing for, you know what, since I'm family, you owe me.
Your
Since I'm family,
entitlement.
rescue me. Exactly. Since I'm family, rescue me. Since I'm family, it's your obligation. But the thing is, you're not obligated. You're only responsible for, your own lives, your own thoughts, your own emotions. And like you mentioned, you can't rescue anyone who needs, who does not want to be rescued. And for me, what I think about, I think in such situations, that's where we grow the most. Where you can be able to tell a family member, and yeah, over here, nothing no buyer. Let me just love you from far. You just put boundaries. Kama ni hii na hii
Just
na
put
hii,
boundaries.
yeah, atuta, yes. Atuta deal
Alafu
nayo.
kuna watu they're just comfortable in their misery, they're comfortable in their situation, they're happy to get the handovers or whatever. They're just happy where they are. So you can't do anything. You can't pull them up with you. I know when we were younger, we used to judge people. I mean, like, oh, how comes that person is doing really well and the family is like struggling and stuff? No, maybe they tried and realized, you know what, their values and their wants and their needs are different from mine. I'm a
Mm,
go getter. I want better. I want to get maximize my potential.
mm,
But they're
mm,
happy. They're okay with what they have, where they are. You can't keep on pulling them. But from the outside world, you're just thinking, haya, mbona
mm,
huwa anafanya hivyo? Amenunua nini na hiyo? Unajua, from the outside world, we are quick and ready to judge. So
mm,
justice, I feel you, my darling. Every person struggles with that everywhere. It's
mm,
not special.
mm. And it's not just family and people who are close to us, like close
When people are
friends.
close to us,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm,
I was gonna ask you, how can you tell that? Okay, how can you tell that a coaching session is not working for maybe for the person or for you, and what you can do in that case? For instance, somebody slipped by and started coaching. Maybe you did rebuild something together, and you didn't completely pick the fact that maybe they want you to be totally formal, and so your method is not working for them or not working with them. What are some of the things that you do? How do you handle that? How do you deal with that?
okay. A good part of knowing whether it is working or not is to mark the progress. So you can clearly see when you have, when you're marking the progress, you can clearly see we started on 1st of June, and or let's say 1st of April. This is the what month? April, May, June. This is the third month. So this is what you had said you're going to achieve or to set. So where are you at in the journey? And you
Mm,
can be able to tell whether this person is actually putting in the work,
mm,
or every time you're having a session, our Jafanya, if maybe they're always coming up with excuses,
mm.
and the excuses are just, most of the time, they're just a form of self sabotage, because
Yeah.
you're not yet ready to step
Mm-hmm.
you're not yet ready to step out of your comfort zone. So it's very easy to tell, yenyewe hapa, this person, they're not ready. And for me, most of the time, what I always tell my clients before we start,
Mm,
and is, you know what, if I get to the point where I see you're not putting in the work, please allow me to just cancel the contract, because there's no need of, spending investing so much time, energy, resources, and money, and there's no progress. You
yeah.
might have just go to Java and eat a hot lunch or something, go home and sleep, rather than go for coaching, unajua kuna kitu unafanya. So
Mm,
yeah, a part of just knowing what is working is that. And then also, you can, as you continue with your interactions, you can clearly tell whether the match is good for you, whether mnasikizana, like, are you
mm.
able to relate well? Because
Yeah.
I keep saying, should I call it chemistry? It's very important, because if you have a coach where you feel you cannot open up to them, if you have a coach where you don't feel supported, if you have a coach you cannot trust, then clearly coaching won't work for you. because we'll
No.
always be showing up halfway. Yeah.
Make sure that your contract is not tying you to that coach. It's supposed to be flexible. At any point you feel you're not comfortable anymore with them, you're not feeling the
Mm,
growth, you
mm,
realize you're actually not ready, you want to
yeah.
change anything and they're not supportive of your decision, then you need to go. And if you realize maybe they are just like checking advice and not helping you find the answers within
Yeah.
yourself or help anything that anything that doesn't sit right with you, always use your
Yeah.
intuition in every decision of your life. Your intuition will tell you that this is not for you, this is not working, this is not the person for
Mm,
you. It's okay. And if they take offense, that is their problem. It's got nothing to do with you. Really.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
with clients, if a client doesn't want you anymore, that's
Mm,
fine. That's fine.
mm,
It's just your method not working with them, or you've tried to
mm,
adjust, or you're just not building something together. You really want
yeah.
to help that person, let them go. Let them
Exactly.
find help elsewhere. Yeah, it's all
Exactly.
about helping and helping people
Mm,
transform their lives. It's not,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's the
In fact,
highest thing you
yeah.
could ever do. So
Yeah.
I
In fact,
think,
just what?
I don't know that the audience got any questions for you or anything. If anybody's got a question, please do ask as we try to wrap it up a little bit. So, okay, I was just gonna remind everybody that everything starts from within here. Then we'll
Mhm.
see it on your around
Yeah.
you. Your environment will tell us enough. Your environment tells us what is on there. What's on there will show. So make sure that you work around those two. As you rectify your environment, clean your environment, you clean that too. Let those things work together. Let those
Mhm.
things work together. You can't be in a cluttered, dirty environment and want to have a clean up. It doesn't work like that. It has
Yeah.
to work together. You have to work. Make sure you do that, and you'll be set to a better start. If you really want to change your life, you have to start from there. Find ways to quiet your mind. Yes, a life coach will give you a guide you, help you find the answers within yourself. But if you want to be able to wake up every morning and get on and do it, find your life purpose. They should be able to help you find a life purpose. But after that, just make sure that you go back and clear your mind. Make sure you are right with everything, right with your universe, right with God, right with your environment, right with yourself, the most important
Mhm.
person. And
Yeah.
yeah, whatever you decide to do to work on will work, will
Mm.
work. And
Very
it
true.
won't feel like too much because you've
Yeah.
started with the mind. Make sure you
Yeah.
quiet your mind and your life will transform. Uh,
Mm.
I can't emphasize that enough. I think for me, the moment that I actually discovered how to quiet up mind, I think that was the most transformative time for my life. It happens in different ways for a lot of people. It could have been maybe exactly the time that I said that I'm done. That's when I reconnected. I
Yeah.
reconnected to the universe, and then the universe helped me find the things that I need, the tools that I need to transform my life. So those tools came to me where I discovered things like meditation, and I would
Mm.
sit and just quiet my mind. We've got lots of noise in the world right now. There's noise everywhere. You go on Facebook, 1 minute there's a birthday, the next minute there's a death, the next minute there's a divorce, the next minute there's I don't know, domestic violence, the next minute there's a child missing, the next minute my mom was missing.
Pole.
I know there is so much
Mm.
noise, so much
Mm.
noise. So sometimes we just got to come back and surround ourselves with positive people, follow mentors we love, make
Mm.
sure you're just trying your best to get to where you want to go. I
Yeah.
don't know what else you have to share as we wrap it up, my darling.
Maybe just to point out when you were talking about, that point where you felt umechoka, as in you're tired of doing it. At that point, like you're saying, that was your point of surrender, though you did not know that. And unfortunately, for most of us, we get to the point of surrender at breaking point. That was me seated there in darkness and thinking, guy, I can't do this. As in, and unfortunately, most of the time we're just resisting, fighting. And like you said, we don't use intuition and we don't have that guidance because we're just simply fighting things and resisting. And
Fighting. resisting things, and you resist them, they persist.
Exactly. And like
Surrender.
you mentioned, most of the time the resistance is always based on two things, which I think, in fact, for me, life coaching, most of from my own experience and the experience of my clients, it's just based on two things: mindset and beliefs. Hizo mbili ndio they mess us up so much, because most of the
Mm,
time the things that we look at, if we just
mm,
change our perspective. In fact, I think there's a thing like that,
mm.
that if we change the way you look at things, then the things that you look at change. Like,
Oh,
for
yes.
example, for
Mm-hmm.
example, it could be, if you have the perspective of kukiwa na baridi, then it's, or when it's
No, kwa
raining, it's a
mgonjwa.
bad day, right? Yeah.
Mm,
When it's raining, it's a bad day.
mm,
So say it rains. The first thing ukiamka ukiangalia kunanyesha, your mood has changed. Imagine nothing has happened, but your mood has changed because kunanyesha. Then
mm,
you'll wear clothes that you won't feel, you won't feel good, you'll feel grumpy,
mm,
you'll take that mood to other guys in traffic. Then of course utaona tu everyone is irritating you. By the time you're getting to the office, you're
mm.
so irritated. Yet it's just a
That is
mindset.
really profound and really true. When you look at people, hebu angalia mtu wote mwenye anakusemanga yeye akwangi mgonjwa, they are never ill.
Yeah, yeah,
Mtu wote mwenye
yeah,
anakwambia akwangi mgonjwa, they're never ill because they've already trained their mind to know that they're never ill. The mind believes it, knows they're never ill. I'll tell you what, back in the days, those things that happen in your life, but baada hazijakushika.
yeah.
Way back when I was maybe, I don't think I was even 18. There was this
Mm,
girl we used to go to church with, wakati the bombing that happened in Nairobi
mm-hmm,
way back then. And this lady used to like make joke about how she's the weak one.
mm,
And she'd be
mm,
like, oh, we remember the last conversation we ever had with her that really stuck with us was we had Nairobi fly thing. And there was the
mm,
Nairobi fly, and she was like, "Oh, I caught the Nairobi fly. Mimi kila kitu nishika. I couldn't eat it vyote. Hey,
yeah, yeah,
sijui wakati kulikuwa na the eye infection, she got it, so she knew anything new that is there,
mm,
ye ushikwa nayo.
mm, mm,
Imagine.
yeah,
Unaweza kuona watu wanaongea vitu kama hizo alafu watu wanajoke. People joke about those things. You don't know that the mind
yeah,
is also listening.
yeah.
Anytime you speak, your mind is also listening.
Mm, mm-hmm. It's very true, and I just give an example of my own daughter, and she has this mindset is of whenever she's sick, ezi kapona until or unless she sees a doctor. So even if you were to get the same medication for her, the same one, umpatie najaona daktari.
Daktari paka mpatie hiyo.
Yeah,
Imagine, we don't know the power of our mind. This
yeah.
particular lady, you know what happened to her? Wakati wa the
Mm,
bombing, she was there. She died. She was
mm.
never found.
So sad.
Tulimtafuta. Yeah.
It's very
Now
sad.
that didn't happen long before. No, not
Mm,
long before.
mm,
Mm?
mm.
And we
It's
just
very
remember that, yeah,
sad.
nasema anything new that is happening to everybody, ye umfanyikia.
Yeah, yeah. It's very sad, and just elaborate on that topic more, especially on the mindset. Is most of the time we are very unaware, and that is
Mm,
what I'm very passionate about. In fact, the whole
mm,
idea of conscious living is just that, just
mm,
being more aware of the kind of mindset that we have.
mm.
Uh, do you have that mindset of things are always working out for you, or are you do you have the mindset of yeah, guy, God forgot me, or everyone is out to get me, or nothing
Mm.
ever works out? There are things that we say, but most of the
Mimi
time we don't.
wanaume, men are dogs, they put on
Exactly.
me.
Exactly. If men are dogs, I mean, to just after a kennel and just, you know, put. In fact, they like say if your dog is sick, so just take the dog to the vet. Don't go and just screaming that all men are dogs, because it's not true. But it's all vile tu nasema, whatever belief that you have, whatever thoughts that you have, whatever you put out is exactly what you will get back. But the thing about it is most of the time we are very unconscious, but
Mm,
it's so easy once you start listening to yourself, Once you start
Yeah.
listening to your own words, once you start, and for me, it's been quite an interesting journey
Mm.
because I started picking things, and some things might be very small, but they say a lot. And I'd say something, I'd do something, alafu I say, hey, guy, mi ni mjinga, then I'd pick it. What did I
Well,
do? Exactly.
actually, we do say stupid things on a daily basis. I know. The
Yeah,
most common one is I'm broke. Oh
yeah,
my God, people love it. People, what to say, man, ambao ni sifa. Hey, man,
yeah,
niko broke. People say
yeah.
someone is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which goes back to what we were talking about, mindset and beliefs, because we have these universal beliefs that what money is the source of all evil. So if you have money, then you're evil. So it's pure and it's spiritual to not have money. You
not to
know
have money.
exactly. I mean, yeah,
But
it's
who
spiritual.
said not having money is having money is evil? Not having money means you're not evil.
Yeah, you're more spiritual.
You're more
In
spiritual. Not having
yeah,
money.
in fact, I remember for me along that topic the the verse that actually really like I had to sit down and talk to myself about it was it's I think something like it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go to heaven. And that thing nakumbuka my priest back then when I was a child.
Mm,
Every Sunday
mm.
alikuwa that's the first thing. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. As in that was what he was quoting. But what was interesting is he would preach that and then he's still expecting an offering. So how are you telling people
Yeah,
that and then you're still
I know.
expecting them to build the church? What a build na nini?
I
So
know. Alafu, how kama you want to stay poor because ati money is evil, then why borrow money from people who are evil?
exactly. And
Why did that pastor that money which is supposed to be evil or something? Oh my God, it doesn't even make sense. Well, like you're saying, if you start um looking at things in a different way, changing
yeah,
our beliefs on how we look at things, if you decide to look at it
yeah,
from a different angle, then you'll see
yeah,
how silly it does sound. It
exactly. And
doesn't make
that's
you a
actually
saint borrowing from people every night who are
yeah,
it doesn't make you a saint
yeah. And actually, that's the essence of life coaching to just help you see things in a different
in a
perspective. You know.
different way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when you just sometimes it just might be a very small shift. You know, it will be a small. It can be a small shift in mindset, a small
Mm,
shift in beliefs, a small shift in attitude, whatever it is. But
mm,
the results are life transforming, so to
yeah.
say. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, my darling. Mlamwa, thanks girls for your lessons. Mlamwa naomba wine bana. Wine inakuja. Wine inakuja. Inakuja. Wine too. Yeah, inakuja. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, my darling. I really appreciate you. I really love everything you've shared with us today. And I totally agree. I believe in we're just in sync. We just didn't
Yeah.
think I totally believe in that. But there are a lot of things out there. We're not necessarily shoving it down people's throats and telling them, yeah, this is it has to be this way. It's a way, no. But you're just telling it the way we see it, the way we believe it, and the way we know it. But it's up to you how you take it
Yeah.
and what you
Yeah.
want to do with the information. It's
Yeah.
really for you to decide. But
Yeah.
whatever you do, just know you have it within yourself to transform your life. You
Exactly.
can, and if you anytime you feel like you can do better or there's something that's out there that's better, no, there is, it actually
Mm-hmm.
is. If you think you deserve better, yeah, you actually do.
Yeah.
Anytime you have those feelings, they're actually telling you something, so believe those feelings, you actually
Yeah.
do. You
Yeah.
actually do.
In
Yeah.
fact, what I usually like saying is those feelings are like your inner coach, you know?
Yeah.
You actually self coach yourself. But now
Mm.
that's the thing, you have to be willing to, because you have two things. You have an inner coach and you have an inner critic. You
Yes.
have a voice that will always be criticizing you and telling you how you can't do things, and I mean, who are you to even think about that? But
Mm.
there's also an inner voice, an inner coach that ndio hiyo unasema that we'll tell you yeah, I deserve
Yeah.
better than this. I deserve to be in a I deserve a space where my boss speaks nice to me. I deserve to have good friends that that we
Are
can
there for
support
me
each
and
other.
love me. Yeah.
I So that's the inner coach, and you don't even have to necessarily
Mm.
look for the support of a life
Somebody
coach.
else. Not
You can
really.
actually start from there, and
Yeah.
then if you want now to, because what a life coach now comes and does is just
Jump
you've already
start
jump
with.
started the process, anakuja tu anaongezea tu like
Mm.
they like that. So
It's
if
just like
you're
prayer. You can pray at home, but sometimes it's nice to have somebody to pray with
exactly
and stuff.
exactly
Yeah,
exactly
it's just having that support. It doesn't mean to say that you have to have
exactly
one. You can do it yourself. I did it myself. I did.
exactly
So, and I just
exactly
decided to continue
exactly
with it. And I'm out here helping. So, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to reach out
exactly
to Alice, we are
exactly
happy to support you, either of us or both of us, however. If you want somebody
exactly
else, different person, we have like a panel of people who can help you. So just reach out and we'll
yeah
be there for you and we'll
yeah
tell you what's best for you and help
yeah
you. Otherwise, thank you so much. Alice, I totally agree with you. Let people decide to quiet their minds and listen to that person who trusts them. You know what? You can do better.
mm, yeah
Yeah. Asante sana. Thank you, everybody.
thank
Do
you
share the video. Tell your friends about our group. Sharing is caring. The more people you tell, the more people you can help. If you want to help somebody, a good way is by sharing. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you for now. Thank you, Alice, and bye.
bye thank you